Joe Rogan, LeBron James, and many more might have been doing it wrong. While celebrities and influencers practice cold plunge and sauna, research scientists have been quietly accumulating evidence that reveals a shocking truth about which method actually extends your lifespan. The data from over 2,000 participants tracked for 20 plus years shows one clear winner, and it's not what most people think. Most people are choosing between sauna and cold plunge based on social media trends rather than actual science. But here's what the research reveals. One method reduces your risk of cardiovascular death by up to 50%, while the other offers primarily short-term benefits that fade within hours. The difference isn't just significant, it's literally life-changing. By the end of this analysis, you'll understand why leading longevity researchers are calling one of these methods a cardiovascular fountain of youth, and while the other, while beneficial, might be overhyped for long-term health outcomes. Picture this. You're sitting in a 180-degree sauna, sweat pouring down your face, heart pounding at 120 beats per minute. Meanwhile, across the spa, someone is gasping at a 50-degree ice bath, their blood vessels constricting like a vice. Both people think they're doing the same thing for their health. They're dead wrong. What's actually happening inside their bodies is as different as night and day. The sauna user's blood vessels are dilating like highways opening during rush hour, increasing blood flow by up to 70%. Their heart is working overtime, but in a good way, mimicking the cardiovascular stress of modern exercise without the joint impact. Deep inside their cells, heat shock proteins are awakening like molecular bodyguards, protecting against future damage. But here's where it gets fascinating. The cold plunge user is experiencing something completely different. Their blood vessels are slamming shut, creating an immediate anti-inflammatory response that feels incredible. Norepinephrine floods their system, creating that legendary cold plunge high that makes people addicted to the practice. Research indicates that icy water may have a positive effect on recovery after exercise by reducing inflammation and soreness. It may also help build resiliency, restore balance to the nervous system, and improve cognitive function and mood. The difference isn't just in how they feel. It's in what happens after they get out. The sauna user's cardiovascular system has been trained, adapted, and strengthened. The cold plunge user feels amazing, but their body quickly returns to baseline. One creates a lasting change, the other creates temporary euphoria. But here's what shocked researchers when they started following people for decades rather than just months. While both methods offer immediate benefits, only one has been proven to literally extend your lifespan in ways that seem almost too good to be true. Finnish scientists did something unprecedented. They tracked 2,315 middle-aged men for over 20 years, meticulously recording their sauna habits and monitoring their health outcomes. When they analyzed the data, they discovered something that changed everything we thought we knew about thermal therapy. The results were staggering. Men who used saunas 4 to 7 times per week had a 50% lower risk of dying from cardiovascular disease compared to those who used them once a week. Let that sink in. A 50% reduction in cardiovascular death risk from sitting in a hot room. Even moderate sauna use 2 to 3 times per week reduced cardiovascular death risk by 27%. This prospective cohort study found that the frequency of sauna bathing is associated with a reduced risk of fatal cardiovascular and all-cause mortality events. But here's what makes this even more remarkable. These weren't just statistical blips. The increased frequency of sauna bathing is associated with the reduced risk of sudden cardiac death, coronary heart disease, cardiovascular disease, and all-cause mortality. We're talking about one of the most significant longevity interventions ever documented in scientific literature. Now, you might be wondering about cold plunge. Surely something that feels so intense and creates such immediate benefits must have similar long-term effects. When it comes to the health benefits of cold water dips, the hype is ahead of the science. While cold exposure offers measurable benefits for recovery and mental health, no large-scale studies have demonstrated similar mortality benefits. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. Just when you think saunas are the clear winner, the research reveals a fascinating paradox that most people completely miss. For immediate recovery needs, the evidence actually favors cold plunge. This creates a situation that's both confusing and enlightening. How can the method that's better for longevity be less effective for immediate recovery? Think of it this way. Sauna use has been shown to reduce inflammation, but as mentioned in the cold plunge research, inflammation may be an important part of long-term strength and muscle gains. Cold plunge provides superior acute anti-inflammatory effects, making it incredibly effective for post-exercise recovery and reducing delayed onset muscle soreness. It's like having a fire extinguisher for your muscles. But saunas work differently. They create a controlled stress that forces your cardiovascular system to adapt and strengthen over time. Greater frequencies and durations of sauna use are associated with a decreased risk of fatal cardiovascular events and all-cause mortality, as well as reduced risk of hypertension. The heat exposure triggers beneficial stress responses that build resilience in your cardiovascular system like a muscle being trained. This is why elite athletes often use cold plunge immediately after training, but maintain regular sauna practices for long-term health. They understand that recovery and longevity require different approaches. Cold plunge and sauna routines have long demonstrated health benefits, but what are the implications for longevity? The science shows that they share synergistic effects in improving cardiovascular health, reducing stress, and priming your body for a good night's rest. The most sophisticated approach isn't choosing one over the other, it's understanding how they complement each other. Imagine using a sauna as your primary longevity tool, building cardiovascular resilience through 4 to 7 sessions per week of 15 to 20 minutes. Then adding cold plunge as your recovery weapon, using 2 to 3 sessions per week of 2 to 4 minutes at 50 to 59 degrees Fahrenheit to accelerate healing and build mental resilience. The combination of heat and cold exposure can positively affect the skin. Saunas help cleanse the skin by promoting sweating, while cold plunges can tighten pores and improve skin tone. But the real magic happens in how these opposing stresses create a more robust, adaptable physiology. After analyzing thousands of studies and following participants for decades, the research delivers a clear verdict that might surprise you. For maximum longevity, sauna wins decisively. The cardiovascular mortality benefits are unmatched by any other single wellness intervention we know of. If you could only choose one thermal therapy for long-term health, sauna use provides the most significant evidence-based benefits for cardiovascular health and longevity. For immediate recovery, cold plunge offers superior acute benefits for athletes and post-exercise recovery. Research shows that cold water immersion may also improve resilience to stress by decreasing cortisol levels. For optimal health, the combination approach provides both immediate and long-term benefits, with sauna as the foundation for your thermal therapy routine and cold plunge serving as your powerful recovery tool. The key isn't choosing between them, it's understanding how each method serves different aspects of your health and using this evidence to create a protocol that maximizes both immediate recovery and long-term benefits. The research has spoken, and the message is clear. For a longer, healthier life, make sauna your priority and cold plunge your strategic addition. Now, I know what you're thinking, this all sounds great, but where do you start? And what if you don't have access to the perfect sauna setup? That's why I created our sauna quiz. It's a comprehensive assessment that takes into account your current budget and needs to help you decide which sauna is the best option for you. Plus, when you complete the quiz, you'll get a $200 discount on any of our saunas. Try one of the health tools that so many athletes and health influencers have been trying that actually has some research behind it. Your future self will thank you.